auditorium first, and that kind of covers a multitude of places and spaces.
Yep, absolutely. I'll follow you.
Okay. So I really love the simplicity of our auditorium because here we can stream live movies in here. And what we're getting ready to start is we've networked together some storytellers that are struggling with getting their films out there into the world. And so we are going to be meeting here in this space, and we will be sitting here theater style, like what you're doing now, sitting down, and I'll have myself and then other experts in the industry coming and speaking in this space because we want them to see their work live on the screen behind us.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this space is yes, we can do it classroom style with teaching, but then they can see it come to fruition up on the screen as well and cheer each other on in their work. So it's not just about the Studio 222 productions, it's about everybody that comes into the space, helping them rise up and grow. And then we can come in here, do first looks at their films. We can have people that have worked together critique. Constructive criticism is always great. So they can come in here and watch each other's work and say, you know what? I would not move on further with your proof of concept because your team does not know how to do this, or this. Let's get it mastered. That way, when it gets ready to go to the marketplace, it's a sellable product, not just something that sits there collecting dust on a shelf somewhere. And well, for lack of a better way of putting it, licking our wounds and saying, well, that was a flop. Let's throw it in the trash can. Because that does happen even in Hollywood production companies. There's a
Thank you.
lot of great stories. In fact, through the film festival, I think I might have already told you this, but if you were just to take a wild guess, we've had 94 stories that have come through the film festival. How many of those do you think are actually viable that would make a great story to sit down and watch come to life on the screen
I'd like to
out of
say
the
all of them,
94?
but I'm not sure.
Yeah, in the perfect world, maybe all of them. So the guess we usually get is anywhere from a couple, two or three, to maybe 20, 30. We had 73 of them that when they went through the vetting process and the script writers that are, I'm sorry, the script doctors that read the scripts went through and looked for the grammar, they looked for the structure, they looked for does a story carry itself? Are there holes? All the things that come to making a great story. And it kind of surprised me because for me, I have 15 stories that I know I want to do before I retire. To help these other stories come to life too, and us all learn and grow together just thrilled me because that means our space is not going to have a 6% turnaround. I'm looking at least 50% turnaround. And
Nice.
we can only do that when the filmmakers, producers, directors, actors, distribution companies, marketing teams, all the people, that really long list that you see at the end of the movie, come together in this space. But then the audience can also come together in this space. And we have actually set up Club 222 so they get to be part of behind the scenes networking and watching things that are happening live on set. And they'll be able to come in here in this space and participate in that. So, do you want to take them over to one of my favorite spaces across the hallway?
Absolutely. You take the lead.
So,
There you go.
I love this space because of our film festival. And we have um, 38 countries and 36 states that have participated in our film festival through submissions through Film Freeway. In fact, our first film festival, we only had eight. And out of the eight submissions, 30 people came. Five of them were from Athens, Greece.
Wow.
And I found out the second year because one of them returned back the second year. And then third year was COVID. So we had to pivot to the digital space. But when I asked him how much he made per month. And then he shared with me the cost it was for him to get his passport, to pay for his airfare, to pay for his food and lodging, to pay for transportation. It was 3 months' salary, Robert.
Wow. That's crazy.
And yeah, maybe it's just me, but I'm not going to take 3 months of my salary to spend for 3 days to network with people to possibly win an award. Like, so when I asked him, I said, what motivates you to come? He's like, Deb, I've been to many festivals, but this is the only one that I've been to that makes me feel like I'm at home. And we want everybody to come, whether it's in Branson or whether it's here in this space. When they come and they sit at this table, whether it's one of these 20 tables as a participant or one day even being up live on stage behind the big table, there is room at our table. And we invite everybody to come that has a heart for serving God and for telling good story that inspires life into this world, because there's way too much negative stuff going on in our world right now.
Right.
We need some good content out there to help people escape for a moment in time, to walk away from that story saying, gosh, maybe things aren't so bad in my world anyway, or wow, we can really make a difference in somebody else's life when we stand together.
Love it.
Speaking of which, and gathering people from around the world, can we migrate over to my favorite spot in the sanctuary?
Absolutely. Let's see. Where's that portal? Oh, I think the portal's over this way. I'll let you take the lead again.
Okay.
You're
So I love this because right now there is, I don't know if you've noticed it much. There, stand by. I need to learn to walk again.
no worries.
Oh, um, before we click over, one of the things I have noticed is that the sanctuary as a whole.
Mm,
Now, I grew up in the church, and I had two different, well, actually three different sanctuary places. One was the church building, right?
mm,
That physical place where everybody gathers together. The other one was underneath my bed, where I could hide away from my family and just be alone with the Lord. And the third place was out at the North Lake that was in our town, where I could go and throw rocks and just like cast my cares and just like let go and release things. Not everybody was raised with those benefits that I had. And I recognize and identify that. And the nice thing about us being grown adults is everything that we lacked growing up, we have the freedom of choice now to either integrate it into our everyday life or reject it and not. And so for me, pre COVID, I was called out of the regular local physical church and to become part of Stephen Furtick's ministry that's called the E Family. And there's millions of us around the world that are part of that ministry that he pours into our life, and we're able to give back to our community. And for me, I still go to local churches with friends wherever they're going, because I can be in that space no matter where I'm at. And that's because of how I was trained. Um, but thank you for developing this space so I can help people take flying leaps off the cliff in those times when they're like on the edge and they want to, like in the real world, they
right.
can back away from the edge, right? And those things that are frustrating them. And they can come into this world and just go experience freedom. And let's go ahead and travel over to that space so I
Absolutely.
can show an example that happened last week.
Okay. I'll meet you over there. Traveling now.
Income streams in the deserts. There's actually 9 different ways people can earn money
Hmm.
to build their dreams. Now, if their dreams are not making them money, then it's just a hobby, and that's okay to have a hobby. But if you're building a business and a career, you need to have your 4 of the 9 income streams feeding it so that way it can continually grow. Now, what happens in that? People get frustrated, discouraged, disappointed, all those things. And I recently learned in January, frustration
Mhm.
is just a feeling and an emotion that comes because there's a system that's not working correctly. And so this is a place where people can literally cast their cares off over the edge. And did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Did you jump? Yes.
No,
Okay.
I'm actually being
Sorry.
camera. I'm doing Hollywood right now. I'm being the camera guy, so I'm following you with the
Oh,
camera.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully I don't lose you. Um, So let's go over here and take a look. So one of the things I enjoy doing is pouring into people mind, body, and spirit. Most of the time, our battlefield is in our mind, right? And so I have put together these little walks that people can do here. There's 7 different cards that when you click on it, it will pop up. And I specifically picked this one because a lot of us in the Christian community are struggling and battling certain things that are causing frustration. And I feel like if we just take 5 minutes, come into the sanctuary, come read one of these cards, and walk through the process. And within 5 minutes, let's go up the bridge. We can cross a bridge that leads us to places unknown, that takes us up a little bit higher in understanding in our mind, that liberates us and frees us from things that lock us up and chain us to things that might can be different things too, like not trying to talk code,
Mhm.
but fear. For me, there are sometimes fear holds me back because I've never done something before. This world, for example, I was somewhat fearful of it, and you guys like let me brain dump and just share my heart, share my mind.
Mhm.
And you helped me cross over that bridge to understand how things can work. And so here we've created that sanctuary space where a lot of people don't have good prayer team support. So if they click over here, we actually have a form built out that they can send in a prayer request. And we have a prayer team over in the Philippines. They're here in the United States, down in South America, that they will literally pray for you around the world. That whatever it is that you've put on that prayer card, they're praying and believing with you that you will overcome whatever that obstacle is. For me, last month, somebody close to me in the Philippines passed away. Her name was Shalom.
Mhm.
And when you have peace die in your life, it rocked my world for a moment.
Yeah.
And I had to walk through those steps, and I needed some prayer partners to really help carry me. And that's who these people are. And they'll do it for anybody. Now, I would love to show them what it means to take a flying leap off the cliff. Do
Okay.
you want to travel with
Yep. Yep. I'll go
me?
right along with
What
you.
is that going to look like with the camera?
I don't know. Well, I may stay in my avatar so people can see the perspective of what I'm seeing.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Which direction do you want to head?
Up to you.
Over by the cards,
I'll follow
off the
you.
rock?
You lead the way.
Okay. So last week, what happened? One of our producers, her son was actually murdered by the DEA up in
Oh,
a
sorry.
local community 3 years ago. And so she is going through, she is pressing charges.
Oh,
And not very many people are bold and courageous enough to press charges against the federal government. The state refused to because DEA officers can plead federal immunity. So there was really no point in pressing charges against them because they'll just plead immunity, right? So she came in here and she's been really struggling because it's heavy. Like the things she's going through is very heavy. And I said, hey, I want to show you something. So together,
mm-hmm. Oh, oh, I went already. I'm flying. Let's try that again.
we're going, yeah. And I want to do it the way she did it because it was so precious.
Okay.
So I told her, I said, stand over here and hit the run button and watch what happens. And somebody who came into this world that was a little apprehensive of life,
Mm-hmm.
suddenly after 4 jumps, she was giggling like a little schoolgirl. It was
Oh,
awesome.
wow. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Isn't that fun?
It really kind of is. And you can take a flying leap anytime you want to. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a place of seriousness, but it's also a place of fun, and laughter, and a place where they can explore the possibility, follow the directions that are on the card,
Mhm.
and pause. Like literally 5 minutes is all it took for her. Oh no, wait, I missed the bridge.
Skydiving.
Yeah, hey, we could maybe do that one day.
That's
But
awesome.
anyway, so people, yeah, people that are part of our organization, they have free access to this specific space,
Mhm.
to come in whenever they need encouragement. If we're not like readily available, they can come in here, and these cards will change out periodically, so that way there might be something different. And I would like to talk to you later about having some hidden gems in here that can be like a scavenger hunt,
Yep.
that they can explore different things. So,
That's going to be awesome, Deborah.
speaking of exploring,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So, first of all, everybody, thank you for joining us and walking through this space and getting like a little sneak peek. We would love for you to come and join us. You can just email us at info@studio222films.com. In fact, Robert, maybe that might be a good way is to put here a little contact button, similar to how we did the Prairie Quest in the Sanctuary, so they could just click on that and go straight to our link.
Yep. Can do.
But one of the things I want, yeah, everybody, I would love for you to stay in this space with us and grow. But if you saw something that inspired you for your production company, please reach out to Robert and the team and let them help you grow too. Because we need to have more light in a very dark world. And if we avoid it and stay away from it, then we're not going to be able to be a positive influence in that space. And from what I've seen that these guys can do over the past 2 years, I know that literally the sky is the limit. And you can do just about anything your creative mind can create, except for skydiving. We don't have wings yet. We need to come up with some wings.
We got to put wings on that,
But
Joe.
yes,
That's awesome. Well,